Hello everyone, Firestarter back with some more replay casts, this time a 2v2 on Plunjing Valley. We have Zery and Razzmann against Mike and Fadeway. So yeah, this should be good. Should be quite a fun game. I think probably. I don't know, why are you asking me? Okay, game starting. We can just go at a ×2. Let's see. So Zery is gonna go on the right side, Razzmann gonna go in the middle, and Bravo it looks like, with Mike just sending light defenses to Foxtrot, and it looks like they will do a double attack on Delta from the looks of things. We have a T80 UK right off the bat. Wow, okay. Okay, leading from the front, I like that. Spreading communism and love. But we'll see what's gonna happen now. Let's just speed it down now. As you can see, Zery being aggressive and Foxtrot right off the bat. I think he's assuming, because that's how Mike, Fadeway, and this bunch of guys usually play. They normally forfeit one zone and just attack balls deep on the other zone. So Zery just attacking right off the bat in Foxtrot. If you can take Foxtrot, should give them a nice advantage. But as you can see, Razzmann getting wrecked by Mike, so quite an aggressive opener to this game. I can't really keep up with everything, so you're gonna have to deal with this zoomed out view because I want to be able to see what's going on. We do have massive amounts of Spetsnaz flooding this town, so this town is as good as lost for Razzmann. And Nighthawk being rallied out by Zery. I don't know what's gonna plan on doing with that one. Let's keep an eye out on this T80 UK as well, see what he manages to do with that. I think it's kind of in the wrong position though, and I just want to show you this. Let's just forget about the rest of the battle and admire Razzmann losing a Leopard 2 to BTRs. Like a noob. Come on, any second now. Yeah, there we go. What a noob. You're so bad, Razzmann, seriously. T80U going down by that Nighthawk, so that's a lot of points wasted down the drain. I don't know why it was in the open. It definitely should have been in the back or in a forest or something. And then just cap Delta as soon as they can. But I'd like to point out that Zery is making the right move at this point. As you can see, he's taken Foxtrot completely, and instead of just leaving his units there, he's decided to push along the side like this to cut off this attack coming out in the middle. But at this point, it's hard to tell who's gonna win, really, because, well, no shit, Fire, there's only 7 minutes in the game. I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. You'll have to excuse me. But we have Mike pushing on the flank of Delta, Fadeway firmly holding this forest line, but we'll see if Zery manages to cut off the route to Delta here, which will be big. You have some pivots firing on that MiG, but not managing to kill that, so he will go home safely. And this is the point where I think we can speed up after that initial clusterfuck of an opener. It's quite fun. But there's a lot of units now being... So all the units that are in the town are actually being used to assault. Interesting little move there. Oh my god, the wild weasel went down to Strelos, the basic ones. Oh, that's embarrassing. Not a good game for Razzmann and Zery so far. As you can see, we can slow down a bit and see how this little attack fares here. This 2A4 against this B1, quite an even battle, but the B1 does go down. And the Spetsnaz are just gonna get cut off now. There's Martyr support and Kylers and shit, and yeah. It's not good for Redford. But they are in a solid position in Delta. As you can see, they're holding this forest here and this flank here. But Zery, really nice move from Zery, gotta admit. They have a BIS being called out. I don't know why people use this plane, really. Especially the CV snipe. It would have been much more useful on the Panzer guns. Maybe the Kyler, just snipe the Kyler with it. Or something. But I should probably stop talking shit. Do you have that BRDM being pinged by Razzmann? So we'll see how they deal with that one. And as you can see, Red 4 is losing momentum now. Sort of, I guess. I think this caught them off guard. I mean, granted, you know, Zery did lose most of his tanks. Pull back the Abrams because it's really damaged, but still. It just confused the hell out of Mike and Fadeway. Or I can speed up again. Have a Draken being called out. Bomb these units into oblivion. There we go. Pretty much kills the entire Morskaya Pehoda squads there. Only one man left alive, and I don't really see a way of them resupplying them anytime soon, so yeah. Meanwhile, Zery's been kind of pushed back here. So Red 4 still has the upper hand so far. And holy shit, that plane is loud. Like, oh my god. Fix your audio, Eugen. Like, it's not hard. So we do have Zery and Razzmann working together to take this forest line here, which is pretty important. Even if you lose this forest line, if you can maintain a presence like so, and just cut off units coming from here, that forces your opponent to reinforce like so. Then you can just bomb this to shit, and then if you just take this back and try and take this forest back, then it's kind of GG, isn't it? But we'll have to wait and see what happens. We do have an MI-28 being called out by Red 4. More business. Oh god, that's gonna be loud. It's gonna be so loud. That's so fucking loud. Okay, and as you can see, Razzmann has managed to put some Panzer Grenadiers in Bravo. Mostly because Mike attacked with all of his troops instead of leaving at least one squad to defend there. This would not have been a bad idea, I think. So let's speed up once again. Now Red 4 is focusing on exploiting this gap here, or rather opening a gap, and as you can see, that's not going too bad for them. SU-24, will it snipe the CV? No, it doesn't. And a mix sniped something, I think it was a Chaparral. No, it was an Abrams that went down. Okay. So now they know that the CV is here, which doesn't necessarily mean so. I mean, even if the CV was here and Razzmann just moved it to bluff, they would have kept bombing that, so that's a good little trick you can do. And now, Blue 4 has to deal with this as well. So Red 4 being incredibly aggressive, but these tanks are completely unsupported, so this is kind of a bad idea. Like, sure, they've managed to open a gap, but there's nothing flooding in here to maintain that presence, so it's as good as pointless, really. The A will go down to the Marines, and the B one as well. It's really on 1 HP. I mean, it's better to pull this unit back than it is to just lose it unnecessarily. We have pinks. Yeah, so they're saying that they can exploit the gap like so, which is true. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's still this problem here. And had that T-80 UK not died in the initial attack there, they would have really put Blue 4 on the back foot, because they would have been bleeding at a solid 2 tick. But this gives them a lot of time to... Sorry, I hit my table again. Fuck. Yeah, this gives them enough time to work together, call out appropriate counters and shit, close all of these gaps that are being opened, and just take back territory that they've lost. As you can see, they took back Bravo without even firing a single bullet. It's kind of funny. And now they're pushing back these Spetsnaz, these GRUs and stuff. I mean, MBTs are not going to deal with the B1s though, but they are going to mop up this infantry really well. So that should be good enough for them. We can speed up, I guess, until the next big thing happens. So yeah, yet another useless counterattack coming out by Razzmann and Zery. We do have so many bombers being rallied out. Question is, will they get the CV this time? No, they won't. So that's a lucky CV. That's really lucky. We have more Panzergrens being called out. SU-24 going down to the Fliegerfaust, which is basically a Stinger. And that's kind of a blunder for Mike and Fadeway. They just gave up the town. Oh wow. This going down to that block. And more units being called out by Red 4, so they really want to maintain this presence here. But now they have to take Bravo back, and with Foxtrot in firm control. Okay, let's slow down. Yeah, with Foxtrot in firm control of Blue 4, this is kind of... it's bad for Red 4, man. It's really bad for them now. Their only solid choice at this point is just trying to hold Delta with all they have. And we do have another TAD UK being called out. Hopefully he doesn't lose this one to a Nighthawk as well. So yeah, Razzmann and Zery taking this forest line back once again. Smart choice. So they'll try and probe with this transport, but there's really nothing here, so that's not even worthy of talking about. The main focus is here at this point. As you can see, there's just Jaegers duking it out with VDVs, which is kind of unfortunate when you see this for Blue Force, since they don't have any Spetsnaz-like unit, and no Navy SEALs don't count because they're shit. So yeah, like a Spetsnaz or a Legion squad would just wipe everything out here, but that's unfortunate. Just a bomber maybe, yeah, that's a good choice. Duh, what is he doing? Why is he bombing that? Well, if he gets that Tunguska, it's worth it, I suppose, but I don't know, maybe killing the VDV would have been much more useful, because then they could have just pushed out here, and it gives them a lot more room to work with when dealing with this little thing here. But yeah, I should mention that Razzmann and Zery are at a +1. So that gives them that nice little leverage they needed to get back in this. And the Bradley in a really nice position, managing to score some nice little tank hits there on the side. LVTPs, exactly, yeah, that's the right choice against VDVs, but you need to distract them when attacking with the LVTPs, because otherwise you just get shredded. They should be behind the infantry, not in front of it. As you can see, that 24 AP launcher. Is it 24 AP? Yeah, it's 24 AP. It's just gonna wreck that completely. Or maybe not, because all of them are firing with the RPKs. One of these should be micro to kill that LVTP, though, definitely. I can zoom in, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Finally happening. Nothing's gonna happen on the right side, so this is a nice little focus for now, I guess. They have many Kylers and an automatic being called out against the VDV spam, which is good once they're on the outskirts of the forest, but inside the forest, that's an inappropriate counter. Unless you support them by infantry, then they're really useful. Do you have an SU-24M being called out? Let's see what he manages to score with that. Maybe Red 4 can take this town back. Well, he did kill most of that infantry there, so that was a nice little bombing run for Red 4 there. But Blue 4 being determined to attack, and this is a nice little bombing target. Look at that, so clumped up. We do have an attack coming out by Mike, trying to retake what he initially had in Bravo. But at this point, it's gonna be a bit difficult. Maybe, I don't know. If he can kill the VDV, the T-72 Ace will not be a problem whatsoever. Panzergren scoring 1 kill, but the VDV will enter soon. He definitely needs to kill them. Oh well. T-80 UK having its guns on, being used aggressively. I don't know why they keep doing this. It's totally a bad idea, but it's their choice, I guess. So yeah, majority of the VDV, well, not majority, but all of the VDV here were pretty much taken out. But Bravo did go back to Red 4 once again, so quite an all over the place battle. 2A4 versus T-80 UK. Oh, that is so close. I think the 2A4 is gonna go. No, the Kyler took it out. Wow. Yet another blunder for Red 4. I don't know why it was used aggressively. They should have just plopped it down here and hold. It's another 100 and... Is it? How many points is T-80 UK now? I don't know. I've never actually used it, so... beats me. Still, that's a lot of points. And that's a lot of points you don't want to waste when faced in a situation like this. Faced with a situation. Like, what the fuck am I even saying sometimes? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. But we can speed up at this point. See what's gonna happen. Getting that leopard there on the side. So Razzmann losing his Leos like a total noob over and over again. SU-24 bombing an empty town, but better safe than sorry, I suppose. We have more units flooding this little line here. Just Kyler's duking it out with Spetsnaz, so should be in the favor of the Kylers. You never know though. This game was made by Eugen, so anything goes. And the GRU scoring some kills there. Now there's only MBT-70s left, but there's only Spetsnaz left, so that's totally not appropriate to deal with these. So Blue 4 managing to push back into Delta after 23 minutes. So that was a nice little attack there. Well, it wasn't little, that was it. It was pretty big, let's be honest. But yeah, Blue 4 repelling that, finally. And now it's up to Red 4 to make it happen. I mean, they were making it happen so far, but they let it slip. They totally let it slip. What cost them mostly was the fact that they lost Bravo to those Panzergrunts. Like, they didn't cap the zone or anything, but just the sheer presence there just threw them off guard a bit. And the fact that they threw two T-80 UKs to their death, like, completely unnecessarily. I think that was the turning point, really. So yeah, those MBT-70s kind of overextended and died. We do have some probing units being called out by Fadeway. Maybe he wants to recapture this, but hold on, let's focus here for now, because Razzmann's mounting an attack here to retake Bravo, but it's not really going well for him, is it? Meanwhile, Zery's trying to be aggressive in Delta. Maybe just pin them down, see what he can do there. And when I watched this replay for the first time, there was a second point where Razzmann loses a Leo 2 to BTR-80s, but I don't remember when it happened. Maybe it was a bit later on. But I just want you to know that Razzmann loses 2 Leopard 2s to BTR-80s in this game. So yeah, he's bad. He's really bad. But yeah, see that overextension there by Blue 4 caused Red 4 to actually have some units here just waltzing into Delta uncontested pretty much. Martyr 2 sniped that BTR-90. It's kind of a nice kill, but still. And this attack here by Razzmann totally failing. We have 3 AGSs probing and trying to exploit this gap here. Maybe he was just gonna spread them out here. There'll be a nice little distraction force, but the Mi-24 isn't gonna have none of that, telling them to piss right off. We have a Bertino being spotted by Zery, so maybe he'll call out the Nighthawk. Oh no, he lost the Nighthawk, didn't he? I don't know. I forget. Was that a Bertino? Yeah, the Bertino fired there. Interesting. I mean, the lack of tanks kind of justifies that, I guess. They just wanted to shut those down, you know, just to give the infantry enough time to get in the forest. And the Fallschirmjäger being taken out by the Burrito, which opens up Delta once again. There's nothing substantial holding that pretty much until this town here. As you can see, there's just Fliegerfaust, which are kind of meh. Well, we can speed up again. SU-24 being called out. They really want to suppress this attack. MLU and Patriots getting that kill. Patriots not getting that kill. We do have the attack by Razzmann happening once again. Maybe he can get it this time. We'll have to wait and see. But as you can see, Red 4 managed to push back into Delta once again. So really nice back and forth. Okay, so this forest line here totally lost on red 4 side, but that Mi-28 is gonna be a problem for Razzmann. He does have an automatic, so he probably will be able to deal with that unless he sends it into the town like the noob he is. Nope, he doesn't. He puts it into cover. I think it would have been much more useful in this forest line here, though, to be honest. And how does he have line of sight on that? Okay. No, that doesn't make sense. The Spetsnaz are indisciple. What the fuck? Okay. Never mind. So. Yeah, not much happening now. I don't know what to say. I guess I just speed up. We'll see how Blue 4 deals with this again. As you can see, they've lost this as well. And yeah, at least they're making some progress in Bravo. It's not much, but it's something. Do have more markers being called out by Fadeway. The automatic there did go down, but the Patriots are doing some nice work sniping planes. Mi-28 being used fairly well, I'd say. Just pinning these attacks down. Is he gonna use that to... Oh my god, Razzmann, what the fuck are you doing? So bad. You're so bad. But, yeah. Okay, Patriots getting yet another kill. See, they're just parked in the main base and they're sniping shit in Delta. It's like... It's OP. It's OP. It's not fun. Unless you're facing PUs, in which case you miss every shot. But what are you gonna do? Okay, so that was a nice bombing strike. Weakened the VDVs enough for Razzmann to be able to push in there. Still have these GRUs here, but nothing's really happening in Foxtrot, so I'm not really gonna talk about it. And we do have Zery trying to hold this right side here. Pretty good. Calling out some more riflemen to take back this thing. And Razzmann just pouring some more troops, desperately trying to take back Bravo. But I feel like they're not focusing in Delta enough at this point. Granted, there's not much units here by Red 4, but still, they don't know that, and you don't want to give up your 2-point zone. You really don't. Especially with the lack of AA here. This Mi-24D, oh, it's gonna go down because it went balls deep, but it could have wiped everything out here had it been used a bit more efficiently. Bertino firing on this little defensive line, scoring some nice little kills there. K-52, oh, it almost got the Gepard, but nice micro coming out from Razzmann, turning the gun off at the last second, and then moving so the missile missed. Isn't it funny how miss is in missile? Just like trolling you. Yeah, never mind. Do have some PDs being called out by Red 4. They're OP though, they need to be nerfed. Like 90 points for this is just a bit absurd, isn't it? Then again, I think everything Soviet should be nerfed, but that's just me. So yeah, let's just slow down a bit once again, see how Razzmann's attack here is progressing. We do have a CV, finally a regular ass CV being called out by Fadeway. Was it this leopard that goes down to the... I don't remember now. Maybe it was. I'm gonna focus here for a while. I remember it being in this area someplace or something. Let's see. I don't think it was this one. But I'm sure that he loses too. Maybe it was this one. Okay, if so, I'm gonna zoom in again and... Yeah, oh my god, he uses a 2A4 to beat... Oh my god, Razzmann, uninstall this game. You're so bad. You are so bad. Holy shit. I'm gonna delete you from my friends list after this game. Because that... I won't stand for that. I just won't stand for that. So bad. Okay, well, whatever. See, he's lost the town now again. To BTR-80s. And now they're losing Delta, but there's only 6 minutes to go, so Red 4 needs to make this happen. They need to make it happen now. Zery trying to push back on the flank once again. But still kind of undecisive. See, Red 4 needs to only catch up 30 points, and in 6 minutes at a +2, they can definitely do it. So this is anyone's game. I'm gonna slow this the fuck down. So we see what happens. But it's definitely up to Razzmann at this point. He's plopped down a CV to slow down the bleed, just to give them enough time to deal with this. Yeah, it's really up to Razzmann at this point to take back Bravo, slow the bleed down, and then they have to just work together. Maybe to snipe the CV or just to set up a good enough defensive line to be able to push back these attacks. Something went down here. I think it was a Gepard, maybe. Yeah, no, it was an automatic. Instantly replaces that. What a fanboy. But yeah, you can see Fadeway just pushing up these Spetsnaz and VDVs really deep into Delta, so they're not looking good in Delta whatsoever. I mean, Zery should definitely take these Marines and just flank from the side like so, because they're really not useful here whatsoever. But it's even now with 5 minutes to go. I really don't know who's gonna win this. I don't remember. I watched this game a month ago or something, because I haven't casted shit since then, so I don't remember who wins really. But I guess that makes it more entertaining, I hope, or whatever. Anyways, I'll speed up because it's kind of slowed down, but it kind of hasn't. So Blue 4 at a +1 now, managing to force the CV to retreat. Points will be even at this point, yeah. So there's just not enough infantry coming out from Red 4. And losing Bravo was their mistake. As I said, it's all up to Razzmann, which you never want to hear that in a game. Razzmann, it's up to you. That's when you know you've lost. But at this point, or in this game, so to say, it's kind of working out well for them. That +1 will secure them the win, I think, and Red 4 just doesn't have enough time to push back into Delta. They do have a CV here ready and waiting though, and there's actually quite a few forces, so we'll see if they manage to push back into this. But they only have 3 minutes to go, and it's not really enough time, is it? Chaparral in a really good spot there, managing to score all of the kills. Personally, I would put it here or here maybe, with some tank support here, so that he can snipe everything that's coming like so. And as you can see, Red 4 is now in a let's just zoom in a really tight spot. They're only, I keep hitting my mic with my hand, so sorry if you hear stupid noises. Hold on. Yeah, Red 4's only choice of reinforcing now is from, well, shit, it's like this, coming in from where the tour's at, to where the CV's at. And that's a really narrow line, especially if you have tanks in this and this position, then you can just snipe shit all day, every day, which makes holding this zone an impossibility. But as you can see, Red 4 don't care. They've managed to push back in, plop a CV down, but they lack infantry. They really lack infantry, and that's what they need to hold this CV here with. And we do have, is that a Mars? It's a Mars, of course it's a Mars. Firing on the Canadian Airborne. So trying to deal with the units around it, and then they can just close the gap, score that CV kill. Bradley firing on the supply trucks, taking those out. Not like it matters at this point, but still a nice little kill there for Blue 4. And I think at this point it's safe to say that Blue 4 has this game. Really nice game, man. Really back and forth, really tense. You don't know who's gonna win it until like 40 minutes in. And yeah, Razzmann losing Leopard 2s to BTR 80s. I mean, what's not to like here? Come on, be honest. That was a great game. I'm just gonna speed it up though, because I don't want to wait 30 seconds. And yeah, GG. Thank you for submitting this game, and hope you guys like it. And I'll see you. Bye bye.